What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Try This Ollie here today. Well, actually, 2 days ago nearly. I hopped on Gran Turismo and I saw this race, the oval race, and I actually saw it before. That's a lie. But we didn't qualify. We're going to start from the back and we're going to see where we can go from here. How are we doing today, guys? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you're doing well. That intro was very rushed, clearly. But we've got nitrous in this race. I don't know what to say. It's hard. And I'll talk a bit more how that can really help a bit later on after we do our proper intro. This has been a shambles already, but it doesn't matter. Guys, distractions got the GT3 and 4 on my other monitor while I over commentary. I do my post commentary over this right now. So, alright, a minute into the video, nearly. We are one lap around the oval circuit. It's a very silly race. The strategy is to bump draft and to just get slipstream. Now, I'm currently not in slipstream. I'm actually just trying to get a bit of overlap, I suppose, already. Or not overlap, but you guys know what I mean. Or maybe overlap. I had a complete mental blank. I'm so sorry. But yeah, this guy in front here, I want to work with him to catch back up. We decided not to qualify and just start from the back to have a little bit more interestingness in my race, and so I bump draft him. Now, unfortunately, I can't remember what level I am on Gran Turismo and what my driver rating and stuff is. Actually, a bit of contact there with the car beside. These guys probably haven't watched strategies, probably haven't watched other videos to try and learn what they need to do, like to try the best strategies for this race. In fact, it gets to a point where my dad was behind me and he was like, I'm wondering if these people were just like wondering in their heads, why is he bump drafting me? Why is he running into me? And it gets to that point where we're working together to catch up because there's still a decent amount in front, decent amount of time, like for the guys in front. So, you know, like look at that gap. So I'm just bump drafting him to try and catch back up, yeah, this guy doesn't seem to do it. So he's actually swerving around before to try and break the toe. But little does he know that that's a very stupid decision. So it gets to the point where, okay, maybe I can make a move. Maybe I can use a bit of nitrous. Now, nitrous it's an interesting strategy. It's if you start at the back, you need to use some, probably about a quarter of your nitrous to catch back up, and we'll get a bit more on that later with some of the strategies. But I've used a little bit. I'm just touching it here and there to try and catch up. I'm going to bump draft him. And unfortunately, I probably actually just have a bit of a moment with me just being me. Now, ideally, I'd like to use a bit of nitrous now, so we do. And actually, I've got the 2011 Ferrari rim for Thrustmaster T300 RS that I use, or T300. And so I was spending a lot of time trying to work out what button it was to use nitrous, but we worked it out, and we used it there. Now, this race, it feels like it was the one opportunity for me to win a race. I've come third a couple times, I think, in Gran Turismo. I haven't come second, and I haven't won. So I'm going to do some races after I post this and see if I can actually get a win. I need to qualify. We don't qualify for any of the races in this video. So if you're looking for, you know, just a normal race where we qualify and we see how well we go, this is not it. Now, I actually use a bit of nitrous just trying to get through there. Very clever idea from me. So well done, Ollie. I'm patting myself on the head because I'm on a chair and I don't want to pat myself on the back. But you guys know what I mean. That was clever to just use a bit there. Now, Steve Alvarez Brown, Mr. Super GT himself, he says to use some like 5% of your nitrous. Oh wow, there's just bumper carts out there right now. But I decided to use a little bit more and then use it all in the end and use the rest of it just outside the final corner. I watched the Steve video going into this race, so I did know some of the strategies on how to use it and when to use it and what to do. But lots of guys around me and girls, they weren't really understanding the strategy. Now, the tyre driver in second was in third. Was in second. We actually just phased through like 6 cars there. I don't know how that's even possible. But we're using a bit of nitrous now. Now, this is my dad behind me telling me to keep using it. keep using it, keep using it, keep using it, keep using it, and then my thumb, my thumb slips. So I nearly lost like hold of the wheel, and I'm just not using it here at this point. I wish I had hand cam or something to show, but I probably could have won the race or been a lot closer if I had just held down the nitrous there. But it's going to be second, and that is my new best on Gran Turismo 7. There it is, second. So we're very happy with that. So it's hard to queue into another one and once again start dead last. There's quite a few people that actually everyone hadn't qualified. No one had qualified in this race. Wow, I don't know why we're starting last, to be honest. Why me? I actually don't understand how that works. Now, there's a few different car selections you can use for this race. Steve said that the most powerful one was the Mercedes, and when my plan was to start from the back, I feel like using the OP car really does make a lot of sense. I actually did a race yesterday that I don't know if it will ever air to the YouTube channel. Well, maybe if I'm desperate, because we've got the new daily races coming up soon. That I was in the Nissan GTR and actually did well, got third. So that was nice. But I really want to win my first race. So I feel like I just can't pass up this perfect opportunity to do it. Now, I actually did get a lot of... I get put quite far back. But I decided we're going to bump draft the Supra. So... yeah, good decision there, to be honest, to bump draft him. Now, I don't know why I try and not stay in the slipstream of the Supra. But yeah, I was a bit too far behind for my liking, so I do decide to... oh, geez. That was a Pagani there. I'm just trying to work out if we did make a bit of contact there with the other Merc. We did make a bit of contact, but that's okay. Now he's tucked into slipstream from the Supra. Just going to try and follow him through here. Now, guys, just let me know what you're enjoying, what racing games you want to see me play. I really want to play iRacing. But yeah. Now, the funny thing about this race is often we're trying to do everything to, or if you're a fair driver, try to do everything to miss other drivers and not make contact in Gran Turismo 7. But bump drafting, I mean, obviously it's a very good strategy, a legitimate strategy that's used in all kinds of racing. Actually going to just try and send it down the outside. We're going to go behind the Chiron. No, we're going to try and go around the Chiron. I think we should tuck into the Chiron here, but we're not going to. We're going to try and... so this is probably an error that you make. I'm not in anyone's slipstream. I'm just getting slipstream or giving slipstream behind me, basically. So we're going to tuck in behind the Chiron. But he's obviously, for some reason, swerving to break the toe. And the thing is, I suppose it's an idea when you're in the toe of the car in front, but it's just a slipstream train, I suppose. Except that I'm in stupid lobbies that just don't understand anything in this game at all. Now, I actually really just had a big old snap. The wheels force feedback was just too much for my little thingies. I actually had a hangnail that was bumping on the side of the wheel, and that's why I had that problem with the nitrous before. It just came back to me. But guys, we're actually still a decent ways to go in this race. So we're into turn 1 right now. As kind of round the exit. Now, there's an idea to use a bit of... oh, geez, running into the wall there was that Chiron. And I actually thought he would ghost. And so I expected to go through him, and then I swerved to move him, to miss him. And actually make a bit of contact there, which is not my intentions, as always. I never intend to make contact with another car. Bump draft is an exception. So, I love the track maps. I know Steve said this in his video that he did, Super GT, one of my favorite YouTubers ever. If not my favorite ever. It is just funny, the track map. down below. It is just funny. Now, something I will notice about this race, your throttle leg does get quite sore. So that's something to note when you're doing this race, and I think that's generally the only struggle you have. In theory, you should be winning pretty much every time. If you're anywhere of my skill level or just above me or even below me, you should be winning this race every time, because it is quite a simple race. Now, we don't win, or do we win? That's for you to watch to the end and find out. But yeah, that's the biggest problem with this race. So like, subscribe, so my leg gets better. Because I had to go through full recovery after doing this race. Alright, we're going to try and tuck into slipstream of the Merc here as we go into turn 2 and the final corner as well. This is the point where I'm like, okay, maybe use a bit of nitrous here and there to just try and catch back up. Now, I'm actually going to think, okay, maybe I bump draft the Chiron through, but then we move across to bump draft this Merc through down the inside of turn 2. There's just all kinds of contact. Like, my driver level, no one really understands sportsmanship. Now, we're using all of our nitrous, and this is where we're thinking, okay, maybe we're not going to make it through. A bit of a chance that maybe we're not going to make it through, but it's okay. That guy just turns right into, or a bit too far right, into a right-hander, I suppose is the way to put it. But honestly, are we going to get P3? Are we going to get P2? I phased through that guy, and I've still got my nitrous, and that guy doesn't. And eventually, we just managed to get ourselves around the outside into my second P2 in Gran Turismo 7 history, and I was super duper happy with that. So, just a couple tips for this race, guys. If you use all your nitrous throughout the race just trying to catch back up, you're genuinely probably going to finish last at the end anyway, basically. It's a really weird one that I can't get around at all. I feel like it's a perfect amount of nitrous for the race, and I think one of the funner races you can do. But at the end of the day, you've got to really use your nitrous. This is why I say qualify it near the front, and then use a bit to bump draft the guy behind. Like, ideally qualify P2. But there we go. Raise 10 positions. I'm assuming to get like 30 grand for this again, considering we did a very similar amount, and we obviously made 4 grand. So I'm hoping, all right, P2, going 10 positions, got to get a bit of money for that. Got to. It's just got to happen. How much money do we make? Let me know in the comment section below. Right now we make 4 grand. So, I mean, it's a short track, short race. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that video. I certainly did. On screen now, you will see my F1 video I did a while ago, and my Forza video, and you can obviously subscribe to the channel while you're there. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Goodbye.